Hello and welcome to Theology on Tap. You know, Jesus said that in this life we're going to have tribulations. But he also said, be of good cheer, for I have overcome the world. That we as Christians, through Christ, we could overcome the world and all the tribulations that we could go through in life. Even death, we could overcome it because there is a paradise that comes afterwards. So there's an answer to a lot of things that we need to learn to yield to his spirit rather than, facing in fear. Now, it occurred to me this week that instead of looking at life and finding abundance of life through Christ, or abundance of life, period, a lot of times we get motivated not because of life in itself, but because we are motivated by death, right? We are motivated because we don't want to die. We are motivated because out of the fear that comes up, arouses in us because of all the wrong things that could happen in life. Although we try our best to fix it, a lot of times fear of death and fear of end of life or tribulations in life kind of makes us move and do things that is not really helpful, but actually more detrimental to us. Right? All the stuff that's going in the world today, let's take a look at it. Right? I read that there is a planet, I forgot what it's called, Nebula or something like that, is on its way to the Earth, and it's going to crash into the Earth, and we're all going to die. And then there's the climate change people. It used to be global warming, but since there's some signs of cooling, especially when the data are checked one more time, when we see that there has been some mistakes that's been made in the past. So we're saying, there's some cooling period coming. So therefore, you can't call it global warming anymore, but now we call it global change. Of course, there's a lot of fear that comes up because there are, Al Gore in his movie that came on is talking about how Florida, California, all of Japan, most of Japan, a lot of South Korea will be underwater. I mean, fear of all people dying. Right? Remember, was it at 2012 or something like 2010? Supposed to be the end of the world. The millennium, 2000, what happened? I remember in 1999, when it became almost 2000, year 2000, there was this idea that the whole computer system would fall apart. And that we're going to lose all our data. There's going to be chaos in the world, and people are going to lose their jobs. There'll be, all that kind of stuff that happen. Now, in the politics, if you want to look at it, there's a war and rumors of war, especially with North Korea right now, China with India, all the stuff that's going in the Middle East, ISIS against us. Everything is about end of the world, the death is coming and whatnot. And there's also, domestically, if you look at it, our education system is so horrible now compared to the past that we try to fix it. And now there are a lot of teachers union coming out and saying we could fix the problem if we have smaller classrooms. We could fix the problem if we had millions and billions of dollars more that is given to the education system. We could do better and all that. I mean, seriously, every aspect of life, they say if we don't do this, if we don't do that, we got to do it for the children, we got to do things for the poor, or else end of the world, or else there's going to be death and famine throughout the world. That's all everybody talks about. Even as Christians, even in all religion basically, is talking about end of life, what's going to happen after we die. Is there a heaven or is there a hell? Everybody's talking about, let's continue to do good and believe in Jesus Christ because you don't want to die and go to hell forever, right? So many sermons and warnings about the end of the world, Book of Revelation. It's all over the place. In fact, there are a lot of prophecies going on now, or predictions, that I think September of this year is going to be the beginning of an end as well. And they've been saying that for a long, long time. But this is it, who knows? Right? But it seems to me like because of all this death cult kind of thinking, of being afraid of calamities and being afraid of being poor, to all that kind of stuff, kind of motivates us to do something that could fix the problem. But the more we try to fix it, the worse it seems to get. I know in LA, I think the mayor has come up with an idea to raise taxes, of course, once again, to get the money, and his goal is to just get rid of all homelessness in Los Angeles. If you could guarantee that, right, then maybe we could put the money in there. But everybody's talking about how horrible the tribulations that's going on in the world, and using that as a way of, I don't know, asking for more money, as motivating people to do things that maybe not be necessary. Especially in North Korea right now, they got the missiles to hit Guam, Hawaii, even Chicago, and because of that reason, we are reacting in a way that might not be good. Because who knows, right? The fear is out there. So we're motivated by fear. So in many ways, we are more worried about things going wrong as a motivation to do things that is right. And I think that's what law does. If you look at scripture law, thou shalt not, there are a bunch of thou shalt nots. And meaning that if you do those things, it's going to be horrible for you. God's going to bring judgment. And because of fear of God, that we tend to say, all right, we got to do something good, or we're going to get spanked. That God's going to do something for us, and that's going to be detrimental. It's going to bring tribulations to us, or spend eternity forever and ever and ever in hell. So everything is about tribulations. But Jesus said the opposite. In this life, there's going to be tribulations, but be of good cheer, for he has overcome the world, something that he has already accomplished. That is why he said, do not fear, don't worry about tomorrow, right? Blessed are those who are poor in spirit, or even poor, Luke says. Blessed are those who seek righteousness. Meaning, instead of being reacting to the fears of all the tribulations that could happen in life, said do things out of love toward yourself, towards God, towards your fellow man and your family and whatnot. People actually, even in marriage, if you think about it, we're so afraid of divorce. We're so afraid that our kids are going to go bad and whatnot. We become very authoritative. We want to take control. But a lot of times Jesus said, let go rather than trying to take control. Do things out of love. Right? The gifts of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, goodness, kindness, all that stuff, The Bible teaches us about love and what it means to love and sacrifice, and to well, I don't like the word sacrifice, to submit to one another. Not because we're afraid of certain things, because we know that is good, for God is good, and he wants us to be good. Be on the pro-love side rather than, anti, death kind of a way of looking at it. The movie I recently saw, it's an old movie, The Matrix, the third one. I forgot, was it Resurrection? I forget the title of it, but the third Matrix, when the machines are coming to the place called Zion. I don't know if you saw the movie or not. I think it was the least popular of the three Matrix movies. But I remember when when the machines are coming to destroy Zion, and there's concerns and worries and whatnot, there's a big fight that is about to come, right? And they're so afraid of death. They're so afraid that the world is going to end, that their life is going to be over. They have this one scene where the whole Zion comes together, and they have a big speech and stuff, and then they have this big party. It kind of looked like a big orgy scene, right? Like Sodom and Gomorrah scene where everybody's having a good time. It's like a big last hurrah before the big fight and eventual death for everyone, right? And like Prince wrote the song 1999. So we're going to party like it's 1999 because the judgment day is coming. And that's what it seems to me like. Everybody is so afraid of death, right? Everybody's so afraid of death. I believe there is a Japanese writer, I forget his name now, I'm so sorry, but he said that, what did he say? He said something like, inside everyone in the world believes in the end of the world, that the death is coming. Everybody believes in it. We expect it to happen. And I don't know why, but we expect the worst things to happen. But because of that reason, we try to do our best to live our lives. But just like the Matrix scene, it seems to me like we're partying like it's 1999. that there's no hope for the future, so let's just give it up, just do all things just for fun. So I think that is why people don't want to invest time in marriage as much anymore. Having children is down. Doing good. There's no such thing as good and bad in that much anymore. In fact, bad, what was considered bad in the past is good, and is all switched up sometimes. I think it's all because we're just partying like it's 1999. We're having this final, big party before, Zion is destroyed. And because of that reason, there's no such thing as right and wrong. And it's becoming more and more that way, it seems to me like. Well, I just want to encourage all of you, as Christ has said, he has overcome the world, that our job is not to be afraid of the end of the world thing, but to live a life that is worthy of his name, to continue to live a life as if it's going to continue. It is everlasting life, not just in the sense of our time in heaven, but in the years to come through our kids and our grandkids and whatnot. Our job is not so much to do things out of fear, but out of love. Reach out and tell people about Jesus Christ in the way that it's not all hell and brimstones. It's not about, saving somebody from hell, but it's about, investing in that is of good. I think that's so much more important. Instead of saving a marriage because you're afraid of divorce or coming down on our kids because we're afraid they're going to do something stupid, but it is to, do good, right? To bring good for the rest of our lives. I think that's very important. So, there are so many things that's going on in the world that could bring a lot of fear. But instead of reacting to fear, let's be more pro-good and love-oriented. Let's continue to believe in what God has promised and continue to live our life as it is forever, and that there are goodness to bring into this world. So I thought that was something that I thought about this week. So many things, maybe it's just the YouTube pages that I go to that I enjoy, or the Facebook pages, all the Christian stuff that I look into. So many people, it's just so negative. Everything is bad, horrible, terrible things coming. No, goodness is always with us. I hope that is something that we could hold on to. Thanks for joining today, and a lot more videos to come. So please subscribe to this channel, tell your friends about me, and share this video. God bless. See you next time.